The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
These videos are not for children. If you're a children, then piss off.
Hey there, it's me, your least favorite YouTuber, the Infuso. And is it any real surprise that I'm making yet another video talking about Batman? At this point in time, it's just kind of what I do here. And because of that fact, I've had some people ask me what my take is on the upcoming The Batman. I thought I already made it clear in my last video talking about the Batman, but to be fair, there have been some more developments since then that I guess I probably should be looking into. So that's why I'm going to be covering a little bit about what we've learned about this movie, and what could possibly follow it, as well as what I think about everything. A little bit of fact, a little bit of opinion, let's just get right into it. This Batman to me seems really interesting to say the least. There's a very cinematic feel to the shots that were shown in the trailers. The way these scenes are shot, it just makes everything feel big. And I think just by the brief glimpses we get of Gotham City from the trailers and the occasional photo that leaks, I think what really comes across is that this is coming from a director who has a certain vision. It appears that they're going for gritty and grim, which is both a perfect fit for Gotham City and a perfect fit for Batman. The Batman's Gotham has its own personality. It seems distinct from other interpretations of the city that we've seen before. And the suit looks amazing. It looks much more like armor than a costume, although I'm told that this isn't the final suit, just one of many that we'll see throughout the runtime. And it looks amazing. It looks much more like armor than a costume. All I'm saying is that this outfit looks much more likely to stop a bullet than that rubber nipple getup. These trailers make the product feel like a combination of the Dark Knight movies and the Arkham universe. And let me just say right now, I am here for it. If that's the route we're going, sign me up. Let's extend that universe. A lot of the inspiration for this Batman movie seems to come from Batman Year One and Batman The Long Halloween, which would make sense as the two of those are some of the most famous early Batman stories put to panel. And while Batman won't be in his first year, we still know that in this movie, it's set in the very early years of Batman. So it's not a year one, it's more like a year three. I imagine that's done so we could still see a somewhat inexperienced Bruce Wayne behind the mantle, but he's experienced enough for this to not be his first clown rodeo. People who have gone to the test viewings of this movie have inadvertently described this movie as the anti-Dark Knight Rises, stating that Bruce spends most of his screen time inside the Batman costume and comes across like a Batman who has very little interest in being Bruce Wayne. And to me, that perfectly reflects the character. As I've said many times before, and also as I'm sure many other Batman YouTubers have said before me, Batman is the man and Bruce Wayne is the mask. It's been both stated and emphasized that this is a Batman who, like the Batman most comic readers or TV show watchers know and love, this is a Batman who will not kill. Which is great, because I think that almost every other Batman put to screen has failed in this endeavor. It's one of the most simple things you could stick by with the character. It's one of the most integral morals that this character has and lives by. And yet, no movie maker could abide by that. Even the ones who want to moral grandstand and act like they were following this. Oh what, Bruce won't kill Ra's al Ghul, but he'll blow up his entire league? What, are they just not people because they're not main characters? Is there a little asterisk right next to that quote? Like, Bruce says that he'll never kill, but then it's like, main characters? Bruce won't kill Ra's al Ghul, but he allows him to just die? Yeah, thanks, Nolan. At least you tried. This movie is also going to be highlighting the detective aspects of The Dark Knight, which I'm pretty excited for. Because you'd be surprised just how often it's forgotten that the world's greatest detective is actually a detective, and not just a midnight brutalizer. Luckily for us, it seems like there's going to be a much more balanced combo of both here, because reviewers have also noted the violence that's present in the movie, stating its graphic nature, and highlighting moments where bones are broken. The movie's allegedly going to be just under or just about 3 hours long, so make sure you get that large popcorn before sitting down to watch this one. You're going to be there for a while. What I like about these trailers is how they manage to maintain the mystery element. We all know the Riddler is the movie's major villain, yet in the coming attractions, he's still shrouded in shadow. He's never fully revealed. It's like they're just finding a different way to surprise the audience with the same surprise. We know the name of the big bad, but we don't know the face. So just when we think we have all the answers, they go and change all the questions. Which I think is pretty appropriate in a movie that showcases the Riddler, going in with more questions than answers. Then you have Colin Farrell in the role of the Penguin, which is obviously yet another case of an actor trying to make up for Daredevil and endear himself to superhero movie watching audiences by working in a Batman project. And hey, if it worked for Daredevil, I'm sure it'll be just as good for Bullseye. I don't know why you'd spend all of your budget on hiring Colin Farrell and making him up to look like Rich Kind, when I'm sure Rich Kind would have gladly done it for much less. The guy was in Gotham after all, but I'm here for it. Colin Farrell looks like he's having a hell of a time in the role, and test audiences were having a hell of a time watching him, so it's a win-win. You know, some people used to tell me I looked like Colin Farrell. And between this role and his role in Horrible Bosses, I gotta say, I'm starting to see it. I don't like it, but I'm starting to see it. I see some people getting angry that there's a black Catwoman, and I hate to break up these speeches about forced diversity and going woke by acknowledging the existence of others, but this isn't exactly something new. I mean, Halle Berry did in fact play Catwoman in the first and only live-action Catwoman movie. Sure, she was Patience Phillips and not Selena Kyle, but she was Catwoman. But hey, if that's not close enough for you, you also have Eartha Kitt, who played Catwoman in the 1960s Batman show after Julie Newmar left the role. And for the record, yes, she was playing Selena Kyle. You also had Naya Rivera in Batman The Long Halloween, which is one of her last acting roles. You have Sana Lathan playing the character in the Harley Quinn show. Cree Summer playing the role in DC Superhero Girls. Oh, and you know who else played Catwoman in the past? Zoe Kravitz. The actress who's playing her now in this movie. She was already Catwoman in the Lego Batman movie. And if all that's still not good enough for you, you're also openly ignoring the bunch of comics that existed before a movie ever came out, where Selena Kyle was in fact a black woman. So, I don't know who you're arguing with or why you're doing it, but it's not working for you. Similar complaints have been made about Commissioner Gordon in the series, being that the character is now being played by Jeffrey Wright, and I almost get it. I too like when products stay true to their source material. But what's more important in portraying a character? Is it the appearance of the character, or is it the performance of the actor? For me, it's the latter. This guy just seems like Commissioner Gordon. And honestly, he kind of looks just like Commissioner Gordon anyway. I really don't see what the issue is. First time I saw the teaser trailer, I recognized him no problem. I didn't need anyone to point him out to me. You look at this man and you just go, that's Commissioner Gordon. He perfectly fits the aesthetic. The test screenings for the film have been overwhelmingly positive, with some reviewers comparing it to a horror film, commenting on its dark and scary tone. There's apparently some big surprise twist or reveal at the end, which at this point in time is kind of looking like it's going to be the Joker. Don't quote me though, but yeah, that's what it looks like. Zoe Kravitz has been called the best Catwoman by more than one viewer of the movie. Colin Farrell is credited as being delightful and hilarious as Gotham's Kingpin. Paul Dano's take on the Riddler has been referred to as being, and I quote here, fucking crazy. He's even been compared to Jigsaw, which is a direction I think will really work for the character, and I'm interested to see it done. They say that Alfred is more of a father to Bruce rather than a butler. I have not heard a single criticism or critique of the material. Nothing. Nothing but praise. So I'm looking forward to seeing the final product. I'm trying to go into this without any expectations, but despite that, I'll admit, I'm excited. More excited than I think I've ever been going to see a Batman movie. This movie looks grounded, it looks gruesome, it looks good. And while I have my high hopes, I just gotta remember that the last time I was almost as pumped for a Batman movie, it turned out being Batman v Superman, so just gotta go in expecting the worst and hoping for the best. In all seriousness, from the look of things, this movie seems very promising. But here's the big question, and it's a question I don't see a whole lot of people asking, and that is, what the fuck is going on? When the project was first announced to be its own outing outside of the DCEU, it made sense to me. I like that they're doing things outside of the main line of movies. Why, look at Joker. That movie was a huge success, and it's because it wasn't creatively bound to an entire universe of already existing content. It was allowed to do its own thing. It was allowed to be its own thing. And I was under the impression that that's what the Batman was going to be. A one-off Elseworld tale that explored a different version of Batman. Except now, I'm almost entirely sure that's not what it is. We're getting a one-off movie that introduces audiences to the Falcones, the Maronis, the Riddler, the Penguin, Catwoman, with strong rumors at this point that Joker is currently cast, and will be making an appearance in the movie. There's even some suggesting that a Superman crossover or cameo will take place. On top of that, there's a brand new show that's planned, set to take place in the same universe. A show which will be produced by Matt Reeves, director of this Batman movie. And it will bring back the Batman's Jeffrey Wright and Colin Farrell as Commissioner Gordon and the Penguin. The show is set to follow the Gotham City Police Department, and the working title of it last I checked was Arkham. Essentially, it kinda seems like DC is opening up another cinematic universe while they already still have one open. There is no doubt in my mind that this Batman movie is an attempt at a brand new start for a whole new canon. And you know what? I don't hate that. We're at a point where the superhero movie craze is so big that I think people understand the concept of a multiverse. And more so over, people actually want to see more interpretations of their favorite characters. For the first time ever, we have 3 Batmans cast. Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck are showing up as Batman in the Flash movie, and Robert Pattinson stepping in for the role in his own solo project. That has been unheard of up until this point in time. I want to thank y'all for watching. I don't usually review trailers because I'd prefer to have an opinion on what was rather than make predictions of what could be. But I've had at least a handful of you guys ask me to do videos like this. Let me know in the comment section below if I should be doing more or less of this. Anyway, with that being said, I was your least favorite YouTuber, Infuso, and I thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.
I am vengeance. I am the night, and that was Infuso. Just remember, if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out.
So, if you like the words that came out of his mouth hole, and you too would like to become a V-generate, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, nerds!
And if you're not joining the fun, you're in for one bad day. And you know what they say about having one bad day?
Catch him next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.